and I've always made money. Now I'm making it for you people. I've had good days and bad days, but...
Tonight on US Breaking News, former President Donald Trump triggers fears of economic instability after floating the idea of firing Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Meanwhile, Trump lashes out at his own MAGA supporters over Jeffrey Epstein file criticism. And in a rare bipartisan move, he signs the HALT Fentanyl Act into law, aiming to crack down on drug trafficking across the southern border. In a closed-door meeting this week, Trump reportedly asked Republican lawmakers whether he should fire Jerome Powell, the current chairman of the Federal Reserve. This unprecedented move sent a wave of concern through financial markets. Powell, appointed by Trump himself during his first term, has been widely praised for stabilizing inflation without pushing the economy into recession. While Trump later told the press it's highly unlikely he would dismiss Powell, market analysts and political insiders remain skeptical. Many argue this kind of interference could damage global faith in US economic independence and send the wrong signal to investors. On social media, Trump unleashed a separate storm. In a heated Truth Social post, he labeled some of his own loyal followers weaklings for accusing him of hiding key documents related to the late Jeffrey Epstein. These files, which Trump's administration has so far withheld, have sparked widespread speculation and calls for transparency, even from within his own base. Instead of calming the situation, Trump doubled down, calling the whole story a Democrat-created hoax. He wrote, "Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have bought into this bullshit, hook, line, and sinker." This move ignited backlash across social media, with influencers and former MAGA loyalists demanding answers. Critics say Trump is now caught in a web of his own making, one built on years of encouraging mistrust and conspiracy. While those controversies grabbed headlines, the Trump White House quietly celebrated a pair of major policy wins. First, the Supreme Court sided with the administration, allowing it to move forward with plans to significantly downsize the Department of Education. This includes mass firings, part of a long-standing Republican push to limit the size of the federal government. And in another big development, Trump signed the HALT Fentanyl Act into law. The bill, passed with bipartisan support, imposes stricter penalties on fentanyl traffickers and categorizes synthetic opioids as permanently Schedule I substances. The White House hosted a ceremony featuring grieving families whose loved ones died from fentanyl overdoses. Many hailed from red states, Trump's political heartland, where the opioid crisis continues to devastate communities. "This is about protecting our children, our families, and our borders," Trump said at the event. The fentanyl crisis intersects with Trump's hardline immigration stance, as much of the deadly drug is smuggled through the southern US border. His administration argues that stronger border control and tougher penalties are critical to solving the crisis. Today's events reflect the dual nature of Trump's presidency: unpredictable chaos mixed with political maneuvering. On one hand, he alienates his base with aggressive rhetoric and controversial decisions. On the other, he quietly advances long-term conservative goals that many presidents before him failed to achieve. Democrats slammed the former president's remarks on the Federal Reserve, calling them reckless and dangerous. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said, "No president should be threatening the independence of the Fed. It's a direct attack on economic stability." On the Epstein controversy, House Democrats renewed their calls for full disclosure of all related documents. The American people deserve to know who was involved and who covered it up, said Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Republican leaders, however, appeared divided. Some defended Trump's actions as bold leadership, while others voiced concern over his escalating social media rants. Financial analysts warn that even rumors of firing Powell could cause damage to the US economy. The mere suggestion erodes trust in the dollar, increases uncertainty in interest rate policy, and sends ripple effects across global markets. Meanwhile, the Epstein file controversy refuses to die down. Trump's critics argue that his outburst only fuels suspicion. By attacking his own supporters instead of offering clarity, Trump has deepened public doubt. Some of his most vocal allies, like conservative commentator Jack Posobiec, have broken rank, demanding full transparency. "We believed in you. We deserve the truth," he tweeted. Trump's control over his MAGA movement appears to be slipping, at least on this issue. The Epstein file backlash may mark one of the rare times Trump's own narrative machine is working against him. Despite the chaos, Trump continues to rack up wins that resonate with his base. The Education Department cuts and the fentanyl bill show his administration still has teeth and still knows how to deliver on key campaign promises. The fentanyl signing ceremony also served as a reminder of Trump's political instincts. Surrounded by grieving families, he struck a note of compassion rarely seen in recent months. And that moment may resonate more deeply than any press briefing or tweet. As Trump pushes forward, questions remain. Will the Powell controversy fizzle out or erupt into a major economic scandal? Can Trump contain the Epstein backlash? And will bipartisan victories like the HALT Fentanyl Act help repair the growing cracks in his support base? For now, Trump's America remains a whirlwind. Bold decisions, big wins, and even bigger controversies.